Whoa, what is everybody? Welcome to the Winners Lounge. Live from DNVR HQ in the studio here, right above the DNVR bar, where today we just watched Serbia beat, somewhat narrowly, the Portuguese.
More narrowly than it should have been.
Like the Strait of Gibraltar. 80-69.
Nice.
80-69. So much to talk about. So much. This was a very content-rich game for us, so it'll be a content-rich Winners Lounge. I got Brennan Vogt with me.
I genuinely had a great time watching that game on the watch along with you and with our friends abroad and here in Denver. Wasn't a very good game, though, was it?
No, it was not a well-played game.
But plenty to talk about, Adam. And Miroslav.
Plenty to talk about. Oh, my gosh. And this floating head you see on screen with you live from Pančeva, Serbia, it is Miroslav.
You will never say Pančevo, right? Because you just want to piss me off. Hi, guys. What's up?
What's up, buddy?
Maybe it's hard to say.
Man, so they get the win, and there's a million different little storylines. Some of them good, some of them not so good, some of them a little concerning. Let's start, as we always do, with a fast breakdown. I'll give it to you guys really quickly for those. Most people probably did not see this. You can watch it on the Courtside 1891 app. It's $20. You download it, you get all of Eurobasket. $30, and you can watch the replays. I don't get anything for saying that. Just people keep asking me, so I might as well say it at the top of the show. Petrushev ejected from the game immediately.
Get out of here.
First couple of minutes, he got suckered into it, man.
He got suckered hard.
He gets hit a little bit hard by Brito, who we really got to know in this one, and he comes around with the little pat to the solar plexus. It wasn't that hard of a hit.
Could have been a flagrant, maybe.
Could have gone either way, but he put himself in position to get ejected, and that changed the texture of the game because this game was all about rhythm, or rather, the lack of it. Mm-hmm. This game was choppy. There was text, there was reviews, there was take fouls. There was just that it never felt like the game had more than 30 seconds of flow to it. Credit Portugal. That's what they wanted to do, and it was only 23-19 Serbia after one. Bench actually got out to a really hot start, but then Brito led Portugal back with some threes. Then Serbia surged to close behind Nikola Jokic's return. It was a 10-point lead at the half. But coming out of the half, Bogdanović did not return. He suffered a hamstring injury that might be serious. We're going to get to that, obviously, later on. So what did Nikola Jokic do? He completely took over. It was actually hilarious to watch Jokic play team ball for the first half, and it'd be like, all right, we're up 10. And then how easily he dominated when, like, just...
Did that look familiar to you or something?
It was a nice reminder of like, okay, so he can score every time. That's good to know. Serbia went up 18. It felt like it was about to be put away, but Portugal stormed back. There was a buzzer beater from Dobrić that pushed the game to 15 at the end of the third quarter, which kind of disguised how well Portugal had closed the gap there at the end. But it was 64-49 Serbia. Feels like it's out of reach, but no. Serbia built an even bigger lead. Portugal rallied back behind some threes. Avramovic made a step-back three with 4 minutes to go, which felt huge because it kind of stopped the bleeding, but it was responded by Portugal on the other side. Marinkovic got fouled on a three with about 2.5 minutes to go.
That was clutch.
67-74 with 1:40. Jokic still not in the game, by the way.
I noticed that.
All of the fourth quarter, this game, which I just told you was 7 points with 1:40, timeout. Jokic did not return at any point, but Dobrić, who we last remember missing that wing three against Team USA. He had a pair of redemption threes in this one in the close and he knocked both of them down to seal it. Jovic put the final nail in the coffin on the other corner, and they get the win. 80-69 Portugal. All right, let's start with our Red Hawk Roofing big takeaways. Vote.
Well, I hate to take anything from Miroslav, but I also like to go first because he can correct me if need be.
If we go to him, you know what I mean? We'll go with him first.
I'm going to say still a little worried about the non-Jokic minutes. I really am. And I don't just mean kind of in a doom and gloom in general way, and they could have lost this game and all that. Just a lack of structure, I think, when 15 is not on the floor right now for a team that is at its best in a flow state and kind of knows where everyone wants to be. We know they really like transition, but at their best in that half court as well, they play a beautiful game. We didn't see a lot of it today, and there are a lot of factors that went into that. But I thought without Jokic on the floor, you're looking at Vasa and going, yeah, I don't know if this is a guy who's getting an offense together right now. They don't have Topic with them. And it just felt like it was a bit of what is this supposed to look like? What is even our plan A when Jokic was off the floor today? And Miroslav, I don't know if you agree with any of that, but it was certainly more noticeable than game one.
Well, my Red Hawk big takeaway is Portugal beat the living crap out of Serbia today.
Oh, I love it.
And
Let's go.
And you know what? Kudos to them.
Yes.
This is what you're supposed to do when you have significant, talent disparity in a game. So they did what they were supposed to do. They showed the other teams what they're supposed to do against Team Serbia, and Team Serbia was soft today.
Yes.
And this is one big worry of mine coming into this tournament. I'm telling you guys, I am so cautiously optimistic about this team that might be the best European team of all time, but at the same time, you have bigs who are soft on rebounds. You are allowing so much smaller guys from Portugal to grab offensive rebounds next to you after threes. And Coach Pešić said that after that Slovenia prep game in Belgrade. He said, long shots, long rebounds. He actually said it in English. You have to be aware that other teams are shooting a lot of threes. You have to be prepared to grab those rebounds. So, I thought, Petrushev was definitely sucker punched, and he responded in the dumbest possible way. I think the refs overreacted on that possession. I would have given double technical to both guys for what that happened. But these things happen. Like, FIBA refs are not the most experienced refs in the world. You can expect stuff like that. And I agree with Adam's takeaway that they lost a lot of flow because Petrushev wasn't on the court, because he is the best pair at the four next to Nikola Jokic. And even though Tristan Vukcevic has some talents, he is a really good shooter. We couldn't see that today. He didn't get any of the three-point shots, and he was just missing a lot of bunnies and just not a good pairing today. And I don't want to take too much time at the beginning of the show. There's so many things I want to talk about this game.
Yeah.
Can I ask you really quick, Miroslav? I've told you, we talked about Petrushev, and I think I like him a lot. You've said there's some mental stuff for him. Is this a good example? Like, are you not surprised to see him get suckered into this?
You should ask Red Star fans, because they had to endure the full season of Petrushev last season. He is so talented, but then again, he also does a lot of silly things on the court as well. So this is what I was talking about. He has some other stuff as well that I don't want to talk about on this show, but in particular, he really didn't. He just does not pick his teams well in his career, but that's a whole different
this
story.
is where Miroslav, I love him because he's like pretty pragmatic. He's got an engineer's brain, but then when you know his biases, and you're like, wait a second.
Totally.
Listen, man, Red Star fans agree with me 100%. Like, they will tell you the same thing I am telling you right now. We are on the same page right now. We are talking about the same guys. By the way, this game, I had my buddy with me watching, and before the game, we were talking like, we picked the boring game. Like, we're not going to scream during this game. We screamed a lot, and mostly at Guduric. Like, what the hell are you doing, Guduric?
Yeah.
And also, so Bogdanović had some problematic action as well. But the biggest real takeaway from this game is Bogdanovic's injury.
Yeah.
And we'll
get to that.
To think about it.
My Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway is adjacent to what you were saying, I have been lauding Serbia from the beginning of the very first warm-up game for their focus, their seriousness, their attention to detail. They come out game one against Estonia. It looked like a team that was ready for the playoffs, not the first game of pool play. Tonight was not the case. And it's kind of sucks because I was thinking this is a team that was ready, is locked in. And look, every team has ups and downs, and maybe this was just a little bit of a lost focus. But I agree with you. Petrushev getting kicked out of the game because of that early on was like the entire team had that energy of, we're playing Portugal. We're playing a guy from Utah State. We're not, this isn't like we're playing some juggernaut. Their only chance of beating us is if they get us to beat ourselves. If we focus on the little things like how the refs are allowing too much contact, or they're going to make it choppy. And Serbia just did not look like they were ready for that moment. Maybe they were working on some things. Maybe there's some stuff to come over. But, when I was hanging my hat on that more than anything, because the talent, you've got Jokic, whatever, you're going to be good. These guys are connected. They do a lot of stuff. But I was hanging my hat on the fact that team had looked so serious every single time I'd watched them play so far. And tonight, I don't know if they were quite as serious. Now, they get the win. They escape with a win. They didn't play Jokic in the second half, which maybe acted as, or in the fourth quarter, which maybe acted as a bit of training. But at least, Miroslav, that's how I feel, that this was not the same maturity I had seen from them, and it's kind of a bummer because now I don't know how much I trust it.
It was a bad game. They were completely out of their role. I think it's a really great thing that it happened today because
I agree.
I'm now channeling my inner Michael Malone. Like, I'm going to say nice things about the team because they played badly. But yeah, I think it's a great thing that this happened in the group stage and not in the top 16 stage.
Right.
Because if you get punched in the mouth for the first time in that moment, you might not get a chance to recover that, especially against the better team. So, yeah, Team Serbia played a really choppy game. They had so many turnovers. I think they had something like 12 turnovers at the half, which actually created that difference of 10 points instead of 20 points. If they had 5 turnovers, that would be a completely different story. But that's the way Portugal plays. They are very quick. They have very quick guards. They have been playing a lot of pick and roll, leaving centers on an island and just making some shots. They did miss some shots as well. This is why they lost the game. But at the same time, when you see the disparity in quality, in ways Portugal guys didn't finish their fast breaks, stuff like that, you see that you should have won that game by at least 30 points. And instead of that, you decided not to play Joker in the fourth quarter and just barely won a game against possibly the worst team in the group.
Well, here's the thing. It wasn't that barely. I mean, we're making it seem there was no point where I actually thought they were going to lose.
It was almost a game.
Yeah, it was almost a game. They were one dumb thing happening away from it becoming a game, like a missed three, goes the other way, but it never happened. And there's a lot to get to on that. I want to actually take our break here because on the other side, one of the storylines was that Jokic, for the first 6 quarters of this tournament so far, I think pretty passive, just playing in the system, playing great, drawing attention, obviously being incredible. The third quarter, he went dominant, and then the fourth quarter, he didn't play. So did we learn anything from that very, very strange third and fourth quarter? I say yes. We'll do it on the other side.
I've learned how much easier it can be to budget when you have an app like Monarch Money that puts it all out in front of you like that. You can feel organized and confident in your finances. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean interface on your laptop or phone. I can say this with confidence because I've tried it. I use it. It helps me track all my types of spending. I can categorize them. So it's not just, hey, you've been over budget or under budget. It's here's why. Here's where you overextended. Here's where you left some room. It's really easy to have it all in one place, and I do feel like my budget is something that I'm actually just on top of and not something that I have a vague sense of, and that is a real difference maker for me. So don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks with Monarch Money. Use code DNVR at monarchmoney.com in your browser. You'll get half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code DNVR. And it is game time. It's almost Broncos season. And if you're going to try to go see a game and you don't already know a buddy with tickets and you're not a season ticket holder, because I hear that's a difficult thing to become in this city, you might need Game Time. It's incredibly easy to use. It gives the advantage back to the fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in a few taps, and it can even happen at the last second. That's kind of their thing. The closer it gets to game time, the better those prices get. And with the Game Time guarantee, you can trust to get 100% authentic tickets on time and at the best price. I've used this to see Rockies games. I've used this to see concerts in Denver. I've used this to see comedy shows. You can see it to go see your Broncos this year in Denver. Take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DNVR for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code DNVR for $20 off. Tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today.
Alrighty, we are back here, segment 2. Make sure you throw us a like if you're watching. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not subscribed yet. And if you want to take it another level, make sure you join. By clicking that join button, you get access to custom emojis. We only add 2 those every single, well, really when the Nugget season gets here, we'll probably add a lot. Maybe we'll add another Serbia one here sometime in the next week or 2. It's a lot of fun. And it's Supporters Club. It helps support us. Miroslav vote. I kind of like that he didn't play Jokic in the 4th. For one, it's hilarious.
That is undoubtable.
It's hilarious that you could have just guaranteed that this game was a 20-point win, and it would have been if you put Jokic back in with like 4, maybe 5 minutes left. That game goes to 20 points, and it's nice and easy. But he didn't. And as I said, I don't think the game was close. So to me, it was almost an opportunity for him to say, we have to figure something out here. It's good for us to be in a pressure game. And he let him play through it. So it's absurd. It's completely absurd, but part of me goes, you know what? Let's get wild.
I mean, listen, it worked. You can make this argument that they needed to clean up their own mess a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I think Miroslav would agree with this, and I think Nuggets fans at home would agree with this. It's really not a great mystery what happens if you put Jokic back in the game.
Yeah, they win.
And you win this one. Or in any given night, you're back in the game. I think what maybe Pesic was hoping to see and ask of his team in this scenario, in a game where it was probably really hard to lose, can you guys do this without him? I understand that question. I understand asking it to the team. It just makes me a little tense because I've seen him do it in elimination scenarios.
Right.
Both with Jokic and Alexa Abramovich.
You're right. There might not have been any more method to this madness. It might have actually just been
kind
madness.
of be a thing that he does. And like benching, I thought Alexa against Team USA was a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
You know, this is all easy for me to say in hindsight. But Miroslav, I'm curious where you fall on this one, because it makes me a little anxious sometimes.
I'm going to take you on a trip with me, because while this 4th quarter was going on, I'm just going to explain how the sausage is being made. I made a tweet saying Nikola Jokic entered the game at the 5-minute mark, and Serbia lost his minutes by that many without him by that many points. But now he's back, and then I changed the tweet to 4 minutes, and then to 3 minutes, and then to 2 minutes. And at one point, I realized I need to completely rewrite the tweet before sending it. I did expect him to come back, and our guy Srđan Radović, who you, Adam, did a show with in Belgrade in that beautiful studio, if you remember. He was the play-by-play guy for this game.
Oh, really?
And Srđan said that it is smart that he's not coming back into the game. And I think he spoke to Coach Pesic before the game. I think that was the plan all along.
Okay.
Because they have a game against Latvia in 19 hours.
Sure.
After the show ended. And, that's a pragmatic thing to say. But me and my guy, Tim Legler, what we think about back-to-backs. Screw back-to-backs. Like, you're at the Eurobasket. You're not supposed to get extra rest.
It's not an 82-game season.
You're supposed to play a 40-minute game. It's not like playing an 80-minute game or anything like that. So, yeah, I don't agree with that idea at all. I do agree that it was very useful to have some real crunch minutes without Joker, and Serbia did figure out some stuff during those minutes. They didn't completely, botch the 15-point lead. They only lost those minutes with 4 points. By the way, FIBA box score again wrong.
I knew this was coming.
Joker was plus 15 in this game.
Okay.
And they say he was only plus 12.
This is going to be awesome if you're just consistently doing something wrong in your manual calculations.
Which to
By
me
the way,
sounds like what's happening, but
my bet is on.
I'm telling you guys, it never happens in NBA box scores. I do the same thing with NBA box scores. I always track Joker's plus minus stats during the games, and they're never wrong in NBA level. But for FIBA, for some reason, it's too difficult to track, I guess, 10 guys on the court at the same time.
So what was the real number today? He was plus 15 in your mind?
Plus 15, so minus 4 without him. Today, so, plus 19 in
a little better, I suppose. Although, I don't know. Here's the other side of it. So closing without Jokic was a method man. I kind of like it. They won the game. They won by 11. It didn't mean it wasn't that big of a risk. It just was kind of absurd.
Yeah, it worked out.
But the third quarter meant a lot to me. Because you lose Bogdanović. Some people were saying they let their foot off the gas when they lost Bogdanović. That's not how it played out. They were up 10. They went up 20 immediately. They actually came out with great energy. And I actually don't even know if they came out with great energy. Nikola Jokic said, I probably have to settle these guys down.
Yeah.
Because he's doing the handoff thing. He'll get a guy on an island, 5 dribbles. There's no double coming. And instead he'll throw a pass. And you're just kind of like, it feels like he's being passive. That third quarter for about 5 minutes, he was like, this is what it looks like when I try everyone. And it was just Shaquille O'Neal in his prime. And to me, that meant something. That to me, I was like, all right, okay. They're holding a lot back.
It's the interesting thing about the gears of Team Serbia, right?
Yeah.
Which is, I think they like to think, and at their best, they very clearly do, have this sort of floor that we don't just need to give the ball to our sort of NBA players over and over again. And it's funny because it's a weird juxtaposition. In the first half when Jokic still only had 6 points and you're looking at what Giannis did for Greece and Markkanen did for Finland. And then you go it's weird how Jokic doesn't do this for Serbia. And then he shows you it's literally a switch, right? That if we're in trouble, I can. It's not my preference for our play style. It's not our preference for our play style. But it was not that I was worried or forgot or didn't think he could, but it's always nice when he just flips the switch and shows you, by the way, this is a choice.
Yeah.
And if I need to get that involved, I will.
And it wasn't like crazy movements or anything. It was, I can set a down screen, pin the guy, hold him behind me, catch it, and just flick it over my head.
Yep.
It was like there were several more layers he could have gone to should he needed. That's how easy it looked. What were the numbers again?
Jokic finished in this game with 23 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, and he was plus 15 in the Miroslav plus minus.
Does that sound right? 23, 10, and 3?
Yeah, no, those are right. It's just the plus minus they mess up every time. So here's the thing. Yes, we all love to see him dominate. And at one point, my buddy who was watching the game with me told me, you messed up your prediction with only 29 points, like a top scoring.
Nah, we cruised under that.
This tournament, but it was so easy. Yeah, but I do agree. It wasn't just the switch that he said, okay, I'm just going to dominate now for the next 6 minutes and score 18 points or whatever. It's that he increased his intensity with concentration, because I thought he was out of focus for a lot of game today. Yeah. He got some really careless turnovers, like people were just taking the ball out of his hands.
First 3 minutes, he had 2 turnovers in the first 3 minutes of the game that were just like, ugh, what's going on?
Yeah, and even I believe in the third quarter, just before he started that series, he also had 1 turnover. I was like, what is going on here? Bogdanović had a bad game. He lost a lot of what was his tally? Yeah, 3 more turnovers. He had 5 turnovers in the last game. 3 turnovers today,
yeah.
And then he got injured. I even felt that he wasn't feeling great even before he actually, grabbed his hamstring in the second quarter. It felt to me like he was half a step too slow for the entirety of the game. Maybe he wasn't feeling that great, and then at some point he felt really injured. So we will see what's going to happen there. But yeah, the whole team was kind of lethargic, and Joker wasn't much different than that, up until the third quarter when he just dominated the single coverage, double coverage, whatever it was thrown to him. He just has the touch of gods in his right hand, and he just hit every floater at a 90% clip. So yeah, it's
because whenever he misses at all, Adam goes, I
know,
out loud.
It's so true. One other thing here, real quick, Miroslav. Bogdanović now, I guess not one other thing, the next big thing. Bogdanović goes out. Hamstrings, man. The hamstrings are a big deal. That's not one that I look at and say like, maybe he's fine. I worry he might be missing some time here. And it sounds like almost certainly tomorrow they play a quick turnaround, but maybe even extensively, maybe even the whole tournament. What are your thoughts? Just knowing that's hanging over it right now. Are you hoping for the best, or you kind of, we all kind of know where this goes?
If I weren't a Nuggets fan, I would be more optimistic, but I've seen so many hamstring injuries in the 10 years I've been, following the Nuggets really closely. It reminded me of so many Will Barton, Gary Harris, Jamal Murray situations. And I know that those things linger, and he might, be able to play through some injections or stuff like that, but those things can get pretty bad pretty quickly. So they need to be super careful with him. It's a really bad timing because he wasn't in an awesome form even before the injury. I thought he had a kind of an underwhelming preparation period and not a great game against Estonia as well. So he really needed to get into the rhythm more, and now he's probably gonna, I would guess, miss a week of action. Which means all the way to the elimination round, and then
that to me is okay. That to me would be fine if he was able to be healthy, even rust and all. If he was able to be healthy when those games start to matter, because I think Serbia can survive the pool play, and maybe even a round of the elimination round. But to me, you start to think about it. Really is you're counting on Bogdanović a lot in these pressure moments. If not him, then who? And so part of me looks at this and goes, "Oh man." This makes this whole dynamic completely different.
It's a big deal. There's no doubt about it. I think everyone who takes this team and their journey seriously has their eyes on it. And I mean, look, if it's a strain, it takes a tournament's worth of time to recover from that. You know? I mean, if it's a serious injury, it's a lot to ask. And we certainly know that, as Mr. Nugget just went out and did his own version of it. So it's a big deal. I think they can survive without him in group play, but in elimination games, you're going to need him, I think. And I agree with Miroslav. It's been a bit of a sloppy start from him. He almost kind of looks like an NBA player on a Eurobasket team, not in a good way. A little, you know what I mean? Not that he's been bad or anything, just almost kind of doing his own thing. He's got 8 turnovers, as Miroslav mentioned. But that shot making ability is going to matter. If you're in a tight game with Germany or France, you can't always just play the beautiful game.
Right.
And that's where Jamal Murray comes in with these tough shots in Denver. And for Serbia, it's going to be Bogey if he's healthy, or dare I say, young Jokic, who was really something again tonight.
Man,
6 of
he's
6
so
from
good.
the floor, did not miss a shot, played all 30 minutes.
I actually think that dude is a stud, man, Miroslav. I'm looking at Jokic and I go, I mean, we were joking earlier, could he be the second best player? Bogey wasn't playing that great, but Jokic is he's really good.
Oh, it's like the realization that Aaron Gordon is better than Michael Porter. It took us 2 years to accept that. Yeah. Jovic was just great in this tournament, and in the prep games he has taken that small forward role really, really, really well. I was a bit afraid of his contribution on defense, but he's been holding up pretty nicely there as well. And yeah, I agree about Bogey. Bogey, most of points he made were out of game rhythm. He had some, solo dribble actions. He was really efficient in those, but a lot of his points didn't come in the real flow of the game. So, yeah, and losing him now, the biggest question when you lose a game, you always have the next man up mentality. And who comes next? And it's Guduric, who had an awful game again today.
Yeah.
He was very undecisive with the ball. He would pass through 3 guys, get all the way to the rim, and then pass the ball for some reason only known to him. Like he had a really interesting game. Let's use nice words here. And yeah, I'm actually a bit surprised that Pešić didn't use. I'm blanking. That he didn't use Marinković more today, because Marinković, I don't think Marinković missed a shot this summer. Like he just hits everything this summer, and I would have loved to see Marinković play more minutes than Gudurić, but yeah, I guess it's Pešić's philosophy to have Gudurić as Bogi's first substitute until Bogi hopefully comes back to the tournament.
Although we saw Vukcevic as well, and we know he got some starts too. Now he was in there for Petrushev after the injury, but is he a guy that could kind of step up as well?
He didn't show it really. He is really good when team plays great defense. He can be very good in fast breaks. He can hit open shots really well, but we saw nothing of that nature in today's game. What was he? He was 1 of 6 from the field. He is 7-1. Oh my God!
Right?
Are you like Kristaps Porzingis? Like what is going on here? By the way, Kristaps, I don't know what's going on with him. He is looking really bad so far.
Yeah, he's had quite the summer.
Something is happening with him.
Yeah, well, all right, let's take a break. On the other side, we're going to wrap up with Serbia, but we also had another big man playing today. Maybe played even better.
No.
I think arguably our best Nuggets big man performed earlier this morning. We'll talk about Big Val on the other side.
It's a good weekend to head to the park, to head to the mountains, to head to your favorite outdoor spots. Is it Labor Day weekend? Is that a thing? Is that right? The amount of which that was a guess for me. What a treat. It's a long weekend, so get those Miller Lights out because it's the 50th anniversary of Miller Lite. Perfect beer to take with you if you're grilling, because obviously you want to save room for the delicious food. You don't want it to all be beer. With Miller Lights, it's that light experience. This is the go-to, the original light beer since 1975, and still the iconic light beer 50 years later. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/DNVR to find delivery options near you. Or you can just pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere that they sell beer. You've seen it, you've heard about it, you know about it. Cheers to 50 years of Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. And before we get back to the Team Serbia and Denver Nuggets talk, how about a little Broncos talk? Just kidding. Broncos fan talk, Broncos banking talk. ENT Credit Union. Broncos country, this one's for you. ENT Credit Union, the official banking partner of the Denver Broncos, has created a Broncos checking account that's built for fans like us. This thing is loaded with the kind of perks that will get any Broncos fan fired up. Things like no surprise fees, no minimum balance requirements, and the money in your Broncos checking account even earns dividends. So it's already a great checking account, but then you layer on all those Bronco fan perks. This is a must-have for any Broncos fan. So if you're ready to bank like a Bronco, go to ENT.com/DNVR. That's ENT.com/DNVR. Sign up for Broncos checking today. And Credit Union is insured by NCUA. Membership required. APY annual percentage yield. Account requires associated ENT Broncos debit card.
All right.
We're back.
We're back here. We've got Miroslav with us live from Serbia. Let me ask you real quick. They've got Latvia next tomorrow. Really coming up on a short because it's tomorrow morning. The DNVR bar will be open, so if you want to go have some brunch. We have that mimosas, like unlimited mimosas. Bottomless mimosas, they call them. Yeah, bottomless mimosas.
Let's find out.
Let's find out. Yeah. I think you and D-Line should do that tomorrow. Yeah. But Latvia, how do you preview this game? Like, what is the challenge like with Latvia? I know they beat Estonia by 2. So are they Estonia caliber?
I would be really scared of that game if Latvia lost today, because that would mean they started the tournament with 2 losses and they would, have to fight for their lives against Serbia. This will make it a bit easier. Yeah, I don't think Latvia is playing really well on these tournaments. Really, I watched a lot of that game and they did not look good at all. But Estonia was leading practically the whole game. At the very end, Latvia got the lead and barely won. So I don't think they're really good, but Serbia needs to snap out of whatever this today was and hopefully show some real seriousness again in tomorrow's game. Blow the doors off Latvia early, because you don't want the audience to get involved too strongly, because the refs are going to get influenced by the audience a lot. It's what happens in Europe all the time. So you have to be ready for that. You just have to be great against the host team and don't let the audience be involved in a game in a real way. So yeah, I hope for a really good first half from Serbia, like +20 first half. And in that case, it shouldn't be too hard of a game to win tomorrow.
Is Latvia a basketball nation?
They are. They actually are. They have won, I believe, the first ever Eurobasket before the World War I. I believe it was like in 1935, I want to say. So they won one Eurobasket, and then Lithuania won 2 Eurobaskets before World War II. Sorry, did I say World War I?
You said World War I.
World War II, yeah. Sorry, I mix my words sometimes. So, so yeah, they actually have basketball tradition. They did have Martin Mursep back in the day in the NBA. I hope you remember that name. So yeah, they do have some tradition. They're also, like Lithuania, basketball is the biggest sport in that country as well. They're just not as good as Lithuanians are.
Okay. Is there anybody that's impressed you so far? Before we get to Lithuania and Big Val, is there any team that you've looked at and were like, you know what, they're looking pretty good?
Huh. That is really good.
Miroslav is both nervous, but also nobody has looked good. Like they're all. He's unimpressed with Serbia, but he's really unimpressed with everyone else.
I don't know. I think Greece had a pretty good win against Italy. It's just that I don't feel Giannis, even though scoring 30 points in a game is making any of his teammates better at all. He famously had no teammates scoring 10 or more points in the game.
Nobody's ever. It's wild to me how much the Serbs think Giannis sucks.
It's honestly true, man. They do.
I mean, he is so much better on the NBA level than in Eurobasket, because in Eurobasket you can pack the paint against him and just don't let him score at all.
Yeah.
Make him a passer and then wait for the open Greek 3-pointers to make their threes. They might sometimes, but yeah. I don't know. Germany has been fine. They were good. They didn't play any hard games so far. I don't know, man. That's too early of a question. I need to see a team win first 3 or 4 games before I can say, okay, they had some easy opponents, but they also had some a bit tougher, so they showed some strength, some teeth.
I'm going to throw you a bone, Miroslav. In that game, Giannis did have 31 points in 21 minutes.
He did.
He was a -3.
Stop.
And they won.
That's just a fact.
And they won.
That's just a fact. I'm not. No,
All right.
No analysis attached.
Let's move. Let's keep
no
it
analysis
moving. Let's
attached.
keep it moving. You're just sharing the stats. Miroslav didn't check those plus minus though. It's entirely possible to
That's
wrong.
true. That might be wrong though.
Yeah, it could be +1.
Lithuania and our beloved Big Val. What a lead up to Eurobasket. What a Eurobasket he is having so far. Did not play in the second half today. What was the stat line? Do you remember? 20.
He had 19 points.
19 points.
And
Grab some
I'm
boards.
going to say 7 rebounds. I'm going to double check that. 5?
Five, I believe.
5, you're right, yeah.
5 rebounds, 3 of 4 from 3.
Look at that.
The catapult was
Don't
working.
get me excited. Also, don't actually get too excited about that.
I'll share a little tidbit here, a little nugget for you. I have been told that, and this is obviously, I think we all assumed it, but I have told that Jokic and Big Val have communicated throughout the course of this process, some kind of meeting of the minds, and that Big Val is actually really excited. Not this, like, because I know people were talking about, maybe he wanted this, like, what's his level? I've been told that he is very eager to be in Denver with the team, like, and those meetings have kind of built some of that excitement.
Well, he's probably like, okay, so in Sacramento it was like this, and in Washington it was like this, and Jokic is like, brother, it's not going to be like that, you know?
Big Val didn't play in the second half for the same reason Nikola Jokic didn't play in the fourth half. They also have a back-to-back tomorrow, so they wanted to say. I believe all 4 groups play tomorrow at the same time. For some reason, there's going to be 12 games in a day. Who's going to watch all that? But it is what it is. It's the schedule. So they saved him because I believe Lithuania was up like 20 at the half. So they thought that's going to be enough from you today. And yeah, Big Val, that's who Big Val is. He is super productive player. I shared that stat a couple of days ago. He was like 11th in scoring and first in rebounding per possession among all centers in the NBA last season.
Yeah.
So that was a down season for him. First season of him being a backup center, I believe. So he is really, really productive. One thing I will always be careful about when we're talking about Big Val are all of those tweets I saw from Keith Parrish, who covers the Memphis Grizzlies, where Big Val played a lot of seasons. He would always say, "Yeah, Big Val had 18 and 10." And they lost his minutes by 10 points. So it's something that used to happen in Memphis a lot. For some reason, even though he was super productive, they just couldn't win minutes with him on the court for some reason.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. I just look at it and say, is there productivity? Is there, and he looks like he has some pep in his step, playing this backup role, fewer minutes, and it's 2 games in a row where he's put up, damn near 20 points. And to me, I look at it, and this was, by the way, against Vooch, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's like one of these ones where you go like, that's a real center he had to go up against. He held his own, and just hearing that there's a little bit of excitement to me, I dig it.
The excitement part's cool. I mean, it's the hardest thing to gauge, and you just, no matter how we all felt on principle or about the whole Jonas scenario, you just want to know that it's not reluctant. And as far as things that are probably energizing in your career, you know what I mean? Like, he was considering this move because he's had some, I think, probably less than exciting NBA stops lately. And then the best player in the world strolls up and explains to you why they need you, why it's going to be different, why you should buy in. I mean, it's a good reason to stay in the NBA,
Right.
It's a good reason. So I'm glad to hear he's excited.
All right. Any other final thoughts? Eurobasket, Miroslav, you want to share? Team Serbia?
Well, we saw a game where Serbia lost Petrushev, they lost Bogdanović, and they really lost Vasa Micic. Vasa Micic looked horrible today. Again,
Yeah.
He was punching the air out of the ball a lot. Again, he had some bad turnovers as well. He had an insane 3-point attempt at one point. I was like, what the hell is this? And actually, he had a kerfuffle with Coach Pešić after that. And Pešić was, in reality, he was like, "What's your problem, Vasa? You're just playing horrible at this moment. This is why I subbed you out." And he didn't put him back in the game after that kerfuffle. So we will see what's going to happen there. Team Serbia, might get to 10 guys pretty quickly. We've had some history of uncontent guys in previous competitions. Famously, Vladimir Radmanović in 2002, who never received the gold medal because he was ejected from the team by the same Coach Pešić because he disobeyed the team discipline. So I'm not predicting anything. I'm just saying stuff can happen.
All right. Well,
it was a really weird and adventurous kind of look ahead from Miroslav.
It was a trip. I know.
it is early days here for this tournament. We'll wait to see what the news is on Bogdanović. I very much expect him to miss tomorrow. I kind of expect Jokic to go off tomorrow.
I do too. I also think I'm hoping, like a sneaky part today, Alexa Avramovic was not very good. And I think he will probably be better tomorrow as well.
How much did he play?
Not a ton. And I think this is probably maybe also part
Two
of it.
games in a row.
Yeah. The first game, it was like, all right, we don't need you to play 25 minutes. But also when you go back to that USA game, I mean, maybe Pešić just
That's what I'm saying.
kind of sometimes has a quicker hook for Alexa than us Americans would.
Are we overrating him, Miroslav? Is that what's happening? Because we love him.
He is by far in the best shape of all of the point guards Serbia has. This is why he's a starting point guard. He was never a starting point guard on Team Serbia before, because he is like the change of pace kind of guy. He is a guy you put in late in the first quarter and in the second quarter to disrupt completely the other team's guards. But on the other side, I thought he was fine today. He wasn't as great as he was yesterday. It's just hard for a guy to make a huge impact on a game if he's only going to play 16 minutes like he played today. And I even thought that he would have played even fewer minutes today if there wasn't a kerfuffle with Vasa Micic. I believe because Vasa was benched that Alexa got some extra like 5 minutes of gameplay today, which is pretty strange considering his shape in the prep period. He feels at this moment like a Golden State. What was the name of the center from Australia who was a starter? But
Andrew Bogut,
who played for like 8 minutes per game, even though he was a starter. And I hope this is not something that's going to happen to Alexa in this tournament, because he is like my by far favorite role player on this team.
I expect much more production from him tomorrow. That's my point.
Let me ask, let's move to some Denver Nuggets topics here. Really just one topic is all we have time for. But just as an experiment, because we're in thought experiment season, aka August, where we are still far enough away from the actual season, although not that far. Media Day is in exactly 1 month.
Really?
Media Day is September 29th.
Media Day sneaks up on you.
1 month, Miroslav. We're almost there. This tournament's 2 more weeks, like that's going to get us halfway home. So we're in the off season, so this is a random topic, but I just want to throw out some what ifs, some assumptions we are making about the year. What if they're actually not true? And I'm going to start with this one. I'll go to you first, Miroslav. What if Bruce Brown is not just like in the rotation? We're all penciling him in. He's a vet minimum. He's not really a point guard. We're kind of just penciling him in as like he's the backup, this or that. But what if that doesn't work out and actually there's a vacancy there?
What you're actually asking me, and I'm honestly not too surprised, what you're asking me right now is, what if nobody wanted Bruce? What
Correct.
if he just had a soft agreement with the Nuggets? He's just going to return there and hopefully come back into shape and be a really good NBA player by the end of the season. So yeah, I could see him not being the game one rotation guy, heavy rotation guy. It is. I think it should be left on a table. This. By the way, the same thing about Tim Hardaway Jr. Like we are not.
Well, can we do the show one part at a time, or do you want to just take all of them? Miroslav, you just see how I set the stage here for what we were going to do these last 15 minutes. What about Big Val? What if you guys, Peyton Watson? Are we sure?
There's one thing that Adam loves. It's when you get ahead of yourself.
Well, Adam should send me a rundown before the show if he wants to his imaginary rundown.
You're a funny guy, Miroslav. You're a funny guy. But I mean, I'll ask you this: if that is, we're just penciling him in. But
I think we should kind of prepare for it as a possibility. I'm not saying pencil him out.
Yeah. But what happens? Who plays? If you told us Bruce was out.
So honestly, I'm not saying this just because you're here and you're looking at me. I think you're looking at a Jalen Pickett inclusion in the rotation.
Not like Julian Strother, Tim Hardaway, we're going to play a couple shooters.
If Bruce is not working out and he's out of the rotation, who's your backup ball handler playmaker? You don't have one, right?
You don't have one.
So it's has to be Pickett, I think. And by the way, in that, I think Pickett can do that. I think Pickett can be a backup point guard.
He was great with Jokic last year, but not without him. Yeah. As was everybody else, including even Russell Westbrook, Jamal Murray. But it is one of those things where I'd be excited for that, and I do think Big Val sets the table for it, allows him to kind of play his style of basketball, but it would still be a big TBD. But I do think you framed it the right way, Miroslav. He was a vet minimum. There weren't like rumors swirling. He is coming back. There's a cool factor there, but We're kind of making this assumption that he is going to be, pencil him in for sure. For sure, maybe he's the sixth man.
There's 2023 at the Nuggets. There's the 3-month stretch where he was playing power forward for the Nets, and everyone thought that was kind of cool. I mean, outside of that, Bruce Brown has not been a consistent contributor in the NBA level. I'm not going out of my way to bash him just for fun. I hope he comes back to Denver and fits very neatly back into that same role, finds the best version of himself. But I don't think we should write it in stone. I kind of think with all these bench guys, like it's so definitively better than what they had that it's hard to overstate that it's better. But I do think we can overstate how good all these guys still are as individuals. And so with Bruce, it's worth taking a second, I think.
All right, let's do the same thought experiment for Tim Hardaway Jr. I'll let you start on this one. So if he's just not a playable player, not because he's injured or this or that, but it's like, hey, man, he's actually just not one of the 10 guys that should play. Is there an automatic Julian Strawther's in, or could it be that even Pickett in that scenario?
To me, that's Julian Strawther. Come on down. To me, that's. I mean, I look at Tim Hardaway Jr. as like a Pokemon evolution of what Strawther you hope he could be, and for it's like Strawther's a project, and Hardaway is kind of that finished product of what you're hoping Strawther could be. So if you don't have Tim, I think you are playing Julian. And you do need, there's a lot of talk that the team has a lot more shooting, kind of. I mean, Cam also shoots a lot like Mike, and Tim Hardaway can shoot. But if Tim's not playing, I mean, do you really have that many more shooters on this team than last year? I'm not so sure. So I think Julian would factor in.
Yeah. I would bet that whoever shoots better in the training camp might get that backup shooting guard position between Tim Hardaway Jr. and Julian Strawther. Julian Strawther has to show us that he is actually a shooter. We haven't seen that so far. We've seen some, big shots from him, but we haven't seen it consistently so far. So yeah, I agree with Brandon. If Tim Hardaway Jr. is not in the rotation for whatever reason, the Nuggets are pretty compromised with shooting again. And especially thinking about the inconsistency of Julian Strawther so far. So yeah, I agree. It might be. I think it's as big of a deal as if Bruce Brown isn't good enough to be in those slots off the bench.
I think there is a world where Pickett fills that spot too, because it might be that Bruce Brown really is just better as a shooting guard. Like there's a world where, okay, maybe the best lineup is Pickett and Bruce, and it's a little bit small, but it gives you something there. It gives you. I think whatever you feel about Bruce, I think he knows what to do. I think the same is true of Jalen Pickett. So you have two guys that are going to know what to do and how to operate the system. When you start talking about staggering, if Jamal Murray is really running the bench, well, maybe who do you put in your backcourt around Jokic in those staggered minutes? Bruce knows how to play off of Jokic. Pickett knows how to play off of Jokic. So I could see a world where it's that. But I do think you make a compelling case just about the shooting. That even though I think Bruce and Pickett can shoot, maybe it does make sense just to have a true shooter running around and doing different things. All right, what about Peyton Watson? We just pencil him in as well because they kind of have to. What happens in a world where Peyton Watson is just not one of the guys that fits into the rotation?
Well, that's an unfair question to ask me because I'm famously low on Peyton Watson.
Famously.
I don't see him as a power forward at all, and I'm not sure he's going to be reliable from the outside enough to be penciled in small forward off the bench. So basically, what you're asking me is, can Zeke slide in the backup 4 minutes and play next to Joker maybe, while Cam Johnson is playing next to Big Val, something like that in stagger lineups? I think it's possible. I'm actually pretty intrigued by a bench that would have all of Zeke, Bruce, and, well, honestly, Peyton again. I would I would love to see Peyton there, but yeah, you're right. It's pretty difficult to imagine the bench without Peyton because of his defensive capabilities. They would lose one dimension of that bench unit without him for sure.
And I think these are famous last words or not. Like at this point, Zeke, do you think you're right? I think it will be Zeke Naji maybe at that point would get the next audition at backup.
You guys are
forward.
thinking of this primarily as backup power forward, and I don't. I almost look at this as Hardaway Jr. and Bruce, and then you have a center. I feel like he might be more the Peyton penciled in as the backup three.
Backup three.
But maybe you guys are right.
Well, I'm just strictly because I think backup four is like the hardest. There's not a neat answer to that. So if Peyton ends up kind of taking those minutes by default, that's just kind of where I think about it. But
I think Peyton not working out has by far the most ripple effects, both on the long-term future of the Nuggets and even on the rotation next year. Because if he doesn't work out, then you don't have a defender, and you have to start thinking about how do I change then things. So maybe I need Aaron Gordon out there, so that means I have to bring this guy in and do this stuff. So to me, it has the most ripple effects, which is one of the reasons I think he's one of the most essential, if not the most essential bench player to working out. I don't know what to say about Deron Holmes or Zeke Naji because I think we both we're all kind of assuming that they're not going to work out or not going to be impact players right away. So I don't even know how to frame that. But I will say with Big Val, we were excited about Dario Saric to some extent last year. What if Big Val is like, nope, same as everyone else, -15, 6 minutes.
What if Aaron Gordon says, you guys have no idea how much Jonas Valanciunas is going to help this
Oh,
year.
God, I hope he doesn't say that at media day.
You guys have no idea.
I don't see it. I wanted to be clear. We don't see it, but let's just talk about what if.
I don't see it, but I do think as a Nuggets fan, you should steel yourself for it.
That's so true.
Absolutely. I don't know at that point. Is Deron Holmes off the shelf? Is Zeke Naji off the shelf? Are you asking a lot of Aaron Gordon?
Zeke is 5. We're playing him
Zeke
back
is
at
5. That's ridiculous. I don't know, man, because they don't have another center. So I think it's either Zeke plays up, Deron plays up, or you overextend Aaron Gordon a bit in ways that are probably suboptimal.
I'm more optimistic about Big Val than what I was about Dario Saric. I always emphasize Dario Saric's, basketball IQ and stuff like that. But I'm going to say something mean now. We get to see the summer of Jonas Valanciunas, and Team Croatia hasn't been playing in any of the big tournaments in the last several years. So we didn't get any kind of, show-up game from Dario during the summer.
That one in there. Just snuck that one in there.
It's pretty hard to see, real stuff from Dario during summers. So it was a mean thing to say. But Big Val is playing great. Why wouldn't we be optimistic about his contribution this season?
Well, the question wasn't should we be or shouldn't we be. It's what happens if he's not. Is it Zeke Naji at the 5? I mean, Deron Holmes at the 5 doesn't even sound right.
Yeah, it's a lot to ask of him.
There's just no option. Like Denver is screwed. You have a 15 spot. Now we got to use it on a Jay Huff caliber guy.
Is Spencer Jones still there?
Spencer Jones.
Yeah, another not center, but sure. Yeah.
He is robust though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a difficult question. Yeah, the things would fall apart really quickly if Big Val is not working at all. It would be quite a disaster, honestly, compared to what we feel right now. That would be by far the biggest impact
100%
on the Nuggets off the bench this season.
Jokic would get 37, 38 minutes a game, and he would win the MVP. That's one. There's one silver lining is that he would for sure win another MVP. We got any super chats, Tiff?
We got one.
Check them out.
Let's see if we can stretch this one out. Ghazi Benghazi, Serbian reporters courtside said all the players were complaining that the rims were stiff as hell.
Hey,
the ball's bouncing off way too hard.
This is my Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway. Focus on the game. They're complaining about the rims being too stiff. Like, Miroslav, what's going on here?
Yeah, that reminds me of Team Yugoslavia soccer team from 1998 when they complained on the soccer balls on the World Cup.
I was
that
the
was
same
the
thing.
problem.
Yeah,
I know you went the same direction. Yeah, it's just play the game. Shut up and dribble.
Serbia was a little distracted, I think, today, and Petrushev was symbolic of that.
A lot of arms at right
A lot
angles.
of arms. Even Pešić had some arms out a lot.
You know?
He was going.
If you saw that, but Nikola Jokic was talking to one of the refs for like solid 4 minutes.
I did
before
see
the
that.
third quarter started. It was like, yeah, I need you to understand something
Outro.
in that matter. So yeah.
Shout out. Go ahead.
Go for it.
Shout out to Paul McKee and ERL who just became members. Anyone else who we missed today joining the supporters club, we really, really appreciate you. And thanks for hanging
More
out with us all
emojis
day.
on the way, and you get that badge of honor. Everybody, we're back tomorrow. We're back in like 12 hours.
Oh, cool.
Serbia versus Latvia. Everybody hit that like button on the way out. We'll see you.
Yep.
Eat 'em on nuggets.
We all silly like the mayor.